Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 4, Episode 35 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. This week, we got a plethora of stuff going through the NHL playoffs, going through the NBA playoffs, talking about the MLB as that's happening now here, that season in full swing, as we keep talking about each and every week. But I couldn't do it without my co-hosts who are here with me this week, Mackie and Ace. Ace, why don't you get us started here this week? What do you got for us?
Yeah, like you said, all the leagues are in full swing here, right? We're in the NHL and NBA playoffs. The first round wrapping up. A lot of those series getting close to done. At least NBA, we've seen a couple finish already. Shout out to my Celtics. The MLB's in full swing as well, and we got games every day. I got some MLB TV on right here in front of me. We got 3 plays on the card right now that we're rocking tonight. So looking for these Twins to close it out, and ready to get talking about another week of sports here. Oh yeah, the Patriots had a great draft, by the way, so it's pretty hyped too. But yeah, ready to get going here.
Heck yeah, we're definitely going to touch on the draft as well. Mackie, why don't you get us going here? What do you got for us for this week?
Yeah, we've had good playoffs so far, NBA, NHL. The West has been a gauntlet in the NHL. They were all tied up 2-2. I think the Stars have a 3-2 lead. Knights have a 3-2 lead now. So, getting down to the end of those first round series. But over in the NBA, same kind of thing. Great series going on. Knicks couldn't close it out at home in Game 5, so they're going to look to close it out in Game 6. Celtics been rolling. Cavs are rolling. Thunder rolled. Um, Other than that, yeah, just looking forward to round 2.
Heck yeah, I hear that. Lots of good stuff there. Um, let's get moving right into our power rankings here for this week. We'll start with the NHL. We got those coming in at number 5, the Colorado Avalanche. Number 4, the Washington Capitals. Number 3, the Florida Panthers. Number 2, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And number 1, the Carolina Hurricanes. What do you guys think about these games here before we jump into these series?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, who should be there, but Mackey, Huff, very against them. Those Dallas Stars. I mean, I think they're the best team in the West, most loaded team, beating these Avalanche 3-2 now without Miro Heiskanen and without Jason Robertson. Kind of crazy to me. That's two of the team's best players up front and on the back end. You couldn't see a lot of other teams stay in this spot without their two pivotal guys, but they're playing great hockey. So maybe they overtake those Avalanche. But Game 7 could be just around the corner too. I don't know how hyped you would be for that Game 7. I would be. I mean, it's been electric so far, all the games. I know there's a couple of blowouts each way, but um, that's the biggest switch I'd say. Mackie, anything that's glaring to you in these power rankings?
Yeah, it's a tough series because I think that it is the 2 best teams in the West. I think a lot of people think that as well. When we made these rankings, Stars were not up
It was
3-2,
2-1 the
so
other way, I think.
it might have been 2-1 the other way, yeah. So, Stars, they look good. I mean, it's coming down to the goaltending. Jake Ottinger's outplaying Mackenzie Blackwood. Um,
As he should.
yeah, exactly, but, I mean, I wouldn't say that the Avs are dead and gone just yet. I mean, they get to go
No,
home for Game 6. They're
definitely not.
minus 185 favorites. I expect them to get the job done there. It's gonna be tough to go back to Dallas and win a Game 7, though.
Yeah, ball center is going to be rocking. I mean, and look at McKinnon. He leads the NHL in goals over the playoffs over the last, I don't know, 5 years, ever since 2020. He's the NHL's goal leader. So that series is going to keep heating up. We'll dive in the series a bit more in the power rankings, though, too. There's a lot of teams you could throw in here. This first round is going to be pretty telling. A lot of the series were even, like we said before, especially in the East. So it's going to be interesting to see what the power rankings look like next week after we have more round one winners, as we don't have any yet. But I'm ready to get into these series if you are.
Heck yeah, boys. Lots of good stuff there for our power rankings. But a quick note here before we jump into these playoff matchups here. Through a change in their YouTube name, the Utah Hockey Club looks like they're going ahead with the Utah Mammoth over some other options like the Utah Yeti, etc. What are your guys' thoughts on this decision before we jump into these series? Like I said,
They couldn't go wrong with anything that was proposed, in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't really like the Mammoth, but, I mean, I
Dude,
like Utah
you're not
Hockey
gonna be
Club better than
repping
any.
some Mammoth? I'll get the Mammoth hat, throw it on my, nice logo on that. That'd be cool to walk around with Mammoth Hockey Club. I mean, a little throwback too. Like,
I don't know.
shout out Ice Age the movie.
I guess it could be cool. I like the Yeti better, though.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been something. I believe there's already a Yeti team though, no?
Who?
I think in another sport, not in the top
Yeah.
four pros. Maybe it's
I
a
mean,
minor league
there's other
team.
Panthers teams, there's other
Yeah,
shit
you're
like
not wrong.
that.
You're not wrong. But I don't know, Mammoth. That's gonna be a cool one. I'm excited to see. It's better than Utah Hockey Club, so
yeah,
whatever it is, just get it out there ASAP.
agreed. Hopefully there's some cool merch along with that, Ace. I know you said the merch is going to be good. I'm excited to see it whenever it comes out.
Mhm.
So lots to look forward to there. Alrighty, let's jump into some of these matchups here for the games tonight. Actually, we'll jump into first. Let me switch over this. First off, we got the Canadians and the Capitals here. Game starting here very shortly. Let's get a little touch on that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great series, and everybody was telling me I was crazy for backing these Canadians, but
Well,
they're
it's
right there in the
3-1 going
mix.
back to going back
They
to
grabbed one though,
Washington.
and you know what's tough though is like that glaring 3-1 series lead is making it tough. But each game has been very tight. Um,
Yeah, but the Caps are doing what they've done all season,
yeah,
getting
just
gritty
just getting
wins,
by, getting by potentially the easiest first round playoff matchup.
getting gritty wins.
Yeah, I just think if they played any of the other teams in the East in this round, they'd have a tougher road. Then again, I don't know if either of these two wild card teams in the East could have really made too much noise, do you?
I mean, the Senators are kind of making some noise. They're get to go back home 3-2.
Yeah, I guess so. They forced a game six. That was massive. The shout out to the inefficient Leafs for just choking. Remember just last
They
week?
just can't get the job
Was it
done.
you or Huff that said you had them going on to win the Stanley Cup
I
now?
have it in my I have it in my bracket.
That's
I've been
wild.
saying it for how long that I can't pick an East team, and I was like, if this is the year to do it, I mean, this is definitely the easiest route.
Yeah, and I'm no better. I got the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they're the complete opposite of what those beneficiaries are in the Leafs and Caps. I think they got the toughest first round matchup with the Panthers, so that might be a tough one to dial out. But coming back to this game, you think that the Canadians can do what the Senators did, force a game six?
No, I don't. I think it's cooked. I think going back to Washington, they defended home ice really well this year. I think they get the job done. Caps
Yeah,
in five.
especially with Dobish having to come in from Montembeault. I'm not too high on either one. The Ruck coming into the net, he's gonna have to be in a tough environment too. So you know that that place is gonna be rocking the red all night long. The depth for that Caps team, I know they're led by Ovechkin. We didn't even touch on that massive brawl they had on the bench with Tom Wilson, who had a career year statistically. Um, I mean, they're just taking it to him. That hit that he threw at open ice, Tom Wilson, that changed the series, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, that's what he's out there for. I mean, he could do a little more than that, but um, just to have that enforcer out there, especially against a young, skilled team, you got to throw the body around, send a message.
You
I think
think
it's been
Team
huge.
Canada's taking that under note and potentially adding him to the watch list for the Olympics
They
while they
could.
got
I mean,
thrown around by Team USA
they
in
could
that
definitely
formation?
use it.
And
Team.
he's
I
he's a
mean,
good enough player. He had a career year. I think he put up over 60 points. He broke his records in assists, I believe goals too, over 25 plus goal scorer this season. Playing in that Ovechkin spot when he was injured too. That was pretty funny to see. But for the Habs, it's gonna be these young guys are just gonna have to step up and just be special. Lane Hudson, I don't know if you saw the stats that he's throwing up for a rookie defenseman in the playoffs. I know he had a crazy regular season, but I think he's like first or second all time in most points in however in the first round and assists, but
wow.
yeah, he's
I
already
haven't
up there.
seen that. No.
I think he slung 3 assists last game. Especially with Demidov alongside him now, they're adding him to the mix. We know how
How's he
good
doing? You're
Caulfield
big
is.
on him.
Yeah, he's got a couple of points. I think he has 2 points, maybe 3 points, playing on the power play. He's gonna be one of the best players in the league, at least a walking highlight reel. But, adding that lefty in with the lineup they already have, they have a great amount of right-handed shooters already on that team, so another skill guy is just gonna help out, but maybe it's just the storybook Ovechkin year. I know they're gonna get ran in round 2 by the Canes. I'm gonna say the
You
Habs
think
force
so?
another one, though. Yeah, I think the Habs force another one tonight. I've been high on them all time. I like the value. I mean, are you betting on this Caps team tonight?
No, it's too steep of a line, but I would take him in a two-team money line parlay. I don't
Money
know.
line for sure, right? Like, there's a good chance this goes to overtime again.
Yeah, but it could also be one of those situations where they're down one. They're pull the
Well,
goalie
haven't
with
haven't
3
all
minutes
3 of their
left.
wins been one-goal wins? I know they had the empty netter. I'm still calling that a one-goal win, like playing hockey, that's a one-goal game. But they covered the empty netter. The other 2 going to overtime. They've been tight throughout when they've pulled it out. The Habs just don't go to sleep. You think they just completely flop in this one, or are we gonna see a
I don't
tight
think they
race?
flop. I think it'll be a close one. But I mean, if the Caps have a late lead, I don't see Montreal tying it up. I could see an empty net more than I see a tie game.
Yeah, but I expect it to be close throughout. So I think,
It's
betting that
just steep.
overtime
What is it? Minus
betting that
190.
overtime prop is never a bad one. I think we're gonna see it in at least one of these games tonight. A lot of teams facing desperation. You could see some sudden death hockey.
Heck yeah, lots of great stuff out of that first series here. Capitals favored here tonight, but we will see what happens going into this matchup here, starting in just a few minutes. Next one up here, though, Panthers and Lightning here also tonight here, starting in about a half hour. Very even game here, Panthers and Lightning. Panthers just -115, Lightning at -105. What are you guys thinking about this series here? What game are they going into?
They're going into
Uh,
game 5, and the Panthers are up 3-1 going into Amalie Arena. I mean, they got swept in their home stadium to start the series. That was nuts to me.
yeah, what do you think? You like the Lightning tonight?
Yeah, I do. I think they get the job done. They're too veteran of a team. I know Hagel's out.
Are you just holding on to your East pick, or do you actually believe they're gonna win
I
this
think they're
game?
gonna win, but I don't think they win the series now, no.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be tough. I mean, after that game in game 4, after pot in 2 and 11 seconds, taking the lead with 4 minutes left, I mean, that just took all the air out of the tires.
Both teams doing the same thing, just bang, bang. No true offense throughout the game, just a couple of quick flurries. But I think they defend home ice here. I don't think they go 0-3 in the series on their home ice. I know Vasilevsky's numbers have been terrible the last few years in net. Sub 900 save percentage. I think it's sitting in the 860s over the last few playoff seasons. Um, but he does lead the NHL in playoff wins since 2020. So we know how good he can be. We
It's
know how
2
good that team in
cups.
front of him can be. Um, Brandon Hagel being out, big. I trust John Cooper here, though. I trust him to get his boys to rally enough at home, backs against the wall to at least force a game 6. If you're saying force a game 7 or win a game 7, I'm not touching the game because it's probably gonna be the Panthers. But I think they can get another one out of the series.
I don't know. I'm leaning Panthers tonight. I'm not gonna take either side because it's one of those games,
It's
but
a tough spot,
yeah, very tough.
tough series.
This Panthers team is just built for it, man. And I
Yeah, I
haven't
mean,
been high on this Lightning team all season. I've been saying it. I didn't really have a reason, but I don't know. They're proving me right here.
yeah, I mean, obviously they honestly might have the toughest first round matchup. We talk about the Stars, the Avalanche being tough matchup too, but you're playing the defending champs who just added Brad Marsh onto their third line, and they're still playing their dirty brand of hockey. Nikola Mikkola catching a fine the other day. Barkov, we saw him go down with injury for the Panthers, but you got Marchand, Bennett, and Kachuk rolling around out there playing great hockey too. We know the rest of the talent they have around them: Verhaeghe, Reinhart. I think guys like Lundell, Luis Ryan, they were in that Four Nations tournament running around for those European teams, and they can do things like kill penalties. They can put pucks in the back of that. Seth Jones playing up to the moment, a guy you and I both kind of hated on a little bit, but he's a good player. And Aaron Ekblad's back in the mix. He scored that big goal for them. Him to come back healthy is massive. Now you have your top two right defensemen. And then what's his name playing on the left side? Forsling, he's been a force as well the whole season. And I'm not a big Bobrovsky guy. You as a goalie, what do you think about Bobrovsky? Is he a beneficiary of the team in front of him, or is he still an elite top end goaltender?
No, no, you hate on Bobrovsky way too much. I think he's outplaying Vasilevsky in this series in a pretty good goalie matchup. He's coming off a cup run. Um, I'm assuming you're looking at the Panthers to win this series and the Canes to win their series. So you're looking at Panthers Canes in the Eastern Conference
No, no,
Finals.
it stays in your own
No, in
side.
the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, in the Eastern Conference Finals, yeah, I am.
Because you're not going to take the Caps over the Canes. And I'm
Yeah,
assuming
I've
you're
been
not
saying it
taking the
all
Leafs
along.
over
Whoever
over
gets
the
out of this
Panthers.
battle of Florida is taking out the Leafs just because I don't think the defense can hang with their physical offensive talent. And I don't think the goaltending's for real either. And you both have a Stanley Cup winning, Vezina winning goaltender in each net from Florida, too. I just think those are the best teams in the East. Um, but yeah, the Canes getting through on the other side. Yeah, Canes Panthers. That'd be an electric Eastern Conference Finals. Would that be a rematch
No.
of
When?
a couple of years ago, maybe? When the Panthers went to
20,
the Cup and lost?
2022. Yeah, when
2022 or 2023, maybe 2023.
2023 maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
2023.
2023, yeah. They
Yeah.
swept them, I think, 4-0.
Yep. So I mean, I'd like to see that one again. It's all big end talent, the names that fly around. But this Battle of Florida, this one's gonna be tight too. These are games. It's the NHL. It's not gonna be like the Orlando Magic or the Cavaliers and the Heat. Where there's a blowout in an elimination game. In an elimination game in the NHL, it's gonna be backs against the wall. That's why I think it's not a bad bet to throw the overtime prop on both games tonight that we already discussed.
Yeah, tight hockey, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be close to the vest. Meanwhile, the last game that we're about to touch on is gonna be wide open with the playoff fumblers and the team that's getting kind of hot, I guess.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Alrighty. Yeah, let's get into this last game here for tonight. The Blues and the Jets here heading into game 5 as well. Jets are the favorite here, heavy, -175. Blues at +145. What are you guys thinking about this matchup, this series going into game
Ace.
Wait,
5?
hang on. Let me talk to the
Ace.
people.
Ace.
They're not losing 3
Get
in a
into
row.
it.
They're not
What?
losing 3 in a row.
They very well could.
No, do you know
And you
why?
looked at me
Do
like
you
I
know
was
where they're
crazy
playing this game
when they
tonight,
were
though?
down 2-0,
Yep.
and you were like, who's gonna get offense for these Blues? They
Yeah,
scored
who?
12 goals in 2
I
games.
know.
They figured it
Maybe
out.
it's just Connor Hellebuck. Should
They
they be
figured
starting
it
Eric
out. Doesn't
Comrie
matter.
tonight?
Doesn't
Is it
matter.
Eric
Maybe they
Comrie that
should, but
be in the
guess who's
first?
starting tonight? It's Hellebuck.
But guess what?
Guess
It
who has
should be
all the
Hellebuck.
momentum? Guess who has all the momentum? The Blues. 12
Yeah, but
goals
you
in the
know
last
who's
2
going to
games.
win this game?
7-1 and 5-2 win.
The
It's crazy.
sellout crowd in Winnipeg, the whiteout, is going to stay undefeated in these NHL playoffs. Toughest place to play in the playoffs, in my opinion. That
They've
barn
done
is
it
going to be
fine, though.
rocking.
They've
Yeah,
done it fine in game 1 and 2.
game
They
1, we
they
saw a
didn't get
cover.
wins. They lost 5-3 and 2-1, but I mean, you're playing with them.
Yeah, I know
Now
they're
you
right
have
there,
all the
and they're
momentum
hot, but
going.
I don't see a scenario where the Jets just lose again at
Oh, there's
home.
so much pressure on them. There's
I
so
know,
much
on
pressure. There
Connor
is nothing.
Hellebuck.
There's no pressure on the Blues.
Connor
Blues just go out there and
Hellebuck,
play their game.
this is his big moment right here to prove he can get it done in the playoffs, and he never has, so I have no ground to stand on him with him being able to do so. But it just baffles me that a goalie of that caliber can play so poorly when it matters most. I mean, when we look at Austin Matthews on the other side, it's like 2 guys that just that's the Leafs of the East of the West, and the best goal scoring center in Austin Matthews and the best goalie in the NHL in Connor Hellebuck, and they just can't perform when it matters. How does that happen?
I don't know, but I said it. I said these Blues are not down and out, down 2-0.
It's crazy.
Go back home, they win 2 games, so they have all the momentum, no pressure on their shoulders. They're just going out there to play hockey. Jets, President Trophy winners. We've seen it with the President's Trophy winners
Yeah.
how many times?
Yep.
Oh boy, they could be in for some tonight.
I'm telling you though, I'm taking them on the puck line here. There's a lot of value in the puck line. They're
There's
gonna
no value in the puck line.
Yeah,
There's
there is.
none.
Oh, there is.
There is
there
no
is.
value in the puck line.
You're-
All of the value is on the Blues tonight.
No,
All of it.
I'm gonna go with that puck
All of
line,
it.
and we're gonna hammer it. We're gonna think they're gonna bounce back. Going back to Winnipeg with the whiteout, it's going to be all Winnipeg Jets tonight, and they're going to reset the series. Yeah, it might go 7. Yeah, the score might be 7-3, and Hellebuck lets up a few in the first period. I think the offense is gonna be buzzing in front of those fans, and I think that this inexperienced Blues team is not gonna be able to keep up. They proved me wrong twice in a row, but I think back home, that's why you earn this home seed. But the playoff curse and Hellebuck definitely making me worrisome.
Yeah, I said it last week that don't be surprised if they go back and win 3 in a row. They're
I don't know.
2 out of 3.
They're on the brink.
2/3 of the way there.
They're on the brink. That's going to be a good hockey game tonight. But I expect this one to be a bit more open than the first two. The first two being elimination games in the East, and they're going to be close to the vest, hard hitting, hard nosed hockey. Not many penalties. I expect there to be a lot of goals in this one. I really do. I expect it to hit the over. I'm going to say my prediction tonight is going to be 6-3 Jets. What do you got?
4-3 Blues.
Overtime?
Give me the over. Yeah, maybe overtime, maybe not. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to win an overtime game in Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
Doesn't have to
whiteout's
go to
going to
over-
be going
Doesn't have to go to
crazy.
overtime though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited for all these games tonight, though. It's a fun slate.
Heck yeah, boys. Lots of good stuff happening tonight. Let's touch on some of these series and games happening tomorrow. Also going into some of their game 5s here. Maple Leafs and Senators tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The Senators are the favorite here, -118, but the Maple Leafs are not far behind at -102 on the money line. What are you guys thinking about this series here? Also, again, going into game 5.
The Senators were looking so bleak last week when we talked about them. I mean, all the sales were flying for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but now where are they in a series clinching scenario where they need one game to win, and their record in that recent playoff history, I
Was
believe,
it
is
1-13?
1-14 now. 1-14 now after that last loss.
They'll get it done. They're not gonna lose this series. There's no way, but they might make
Are
them
they
sweat
gonna
and go
are they
back
gonna
to-
have to go back
They
home again?
might make them sweat and have to go back to Toronto. Yes.
Do you remember
But
how
they-
close they got last year against the Bruins when they went all the way back to Boston? We won in overtime in Game 7.
Was that last year?
Yep, where we beat them. They were up. I think they had the 3-1 series lead on us, and they blew it. Maybe.
Shit, was it?
Yeah, I believe so.
I remember
And
the
Dave
overtime game.
Pastrnak,
Yeah,
Black,
pasta.
Leah, Breakaway.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my.
2 years ago Boston lost to the Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I mean, this is just textbook right here, what goes on with the Leafs. I think, big guys gotta step up. Omar played a great game in game 5, so,
He was a
he
good
stole that
goalie.
one. I think he stole that one,
Nice to
but
see him break that win streak, the losing streak too. He's on like a 9-game losing streak in the NHL playoffs. Now he's on a 2-game heater. So
yeah. I don't know, hopefully, I mean, I'm rooting for the Senators, for obvious reasons, but, I like the Leafs as well. If they get out of this, I'm rooting for them.
what do you like in Game 6 though? Do you like the Senators to force a Game 7 at
I
home?
don't
They
like
played
it.
well at home. They played well at home.
I think they very well could. I think in a lot of these games in this series, the better team hasn't won for, like, at least 5 out of 6 of them, or how many games have there been? 5? 4 out of 5 of them, I'm pretty sure the better team has
I
not
don't
won the
know though.
game.
I don't know though because I like the upset in the East. Every team that should be winning is up in the series. In the West, it's all tied. So
Not
I
anymore. I
like the
mean,
Stars.
Edmonton, huge win last night in a row, and I
Yeah.
think Edmonton's gonna
Oh,
close that out in 6 as
I
well.
had the Kings, dude. I had the King. Not last night. I had the.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
took the Oilers -1.5 late, like right before it started. Um, but I had the Kings in my bracket to win this round. But then
They
after
should've. They
I
should've
saw.
won 4-0,
No, I know, but they had 2 epic collapses in Game 3 and the
and
Game
now it's out of
4.
reach. Now
Yeah.
I think it's out of reach.
It's all in their
You
head. But back to the game we were talking about tonight with that Leaf series. You know, you talked about Hellebuck having all this pressure on them, Hellebuck and the Jets, and their no success in the playoffs. How much pressure is on this Leafs team to close it out? Because last night, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, Austin Matthews were all -3 or -4. Like their top Willie Nylander, all their top
I mean,
end
they got
guys.
shut out. They got
Yeah,
shut
and
out.
but your best players on the ice are out there for every single goal against. That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I think Solars is playing well too. It's really not his fault at all. I think he played great.
They just got shut
All
out.
what?
They
Yeah, I
just got
mean, what
shut
are you gonna
out.
do when your team
Yeah.
can't score a goal? But yeah, I mean, obviously all the pressure is on these Leafs. They feel the pressure. They feel it breathing down their neck. They've seen everything. They know that they're 1-14 in series clinching games. They've seen it all. I think
Shout out to Coach Chippy. I think that Poppy wants to go golfing soon. I think that he might feel the little itch. You know, if you guys follow him on Instagram with those videos, he's did the Austin Matthews one. He's like, "Oh, I think this year I don't want to go golfing, boys." They're like, "You don't want to go golfing, Pat?" It's like, "Oh, that itch is coming back." When you realize you could go to the second round, you're Toronto Maple Leafs standing in Maple Leaf Square. I can't wait to see the faces on them when they lose Game 6. I don't know though; it's not a definite. The Sens team hasn't looked like world beaters. They played solid hockey, but I think they're just hanging around more so than making a large comeback here. All the
yeah, I
noise,
agree.
though, the noise might get to 'em.
I agree.
Alrighty, keeping it moving here through the NHL. On to another game 5 here. Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild here. The Knights are the favorite here, -170. The Wild at +140. What are we thinking about this series here in
7, right?
Minnesota, this game?
Yeah, I love Wild to force game 7. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I think they probably should have won game 5 as well.
The home
But
ice advantage is just massive in the series.
yeah, it has been. I'm gonna go Wild in 7. I'm gonna go with the upset. I know they're down 3-2 right now, but you know, they're
They've been
making
giving
Vegas.
you enough signs to be able to buy
Yeah,
in.
definitely. They're making Vegas play their type of game too. And Gustafson's look good. Hill, on the other hand, has not.
But I still think this Vegas Golden Knights team is too talented to knock out of the first round. The Minnesota Wild are another team that just they have a great team and enough pieces. They just don't have the stardom to match up with them, and they just don't get the job done. Eden Hill's got that Stanley Cup under him now. I mean, so I'm gonna throw him above Gustafson, even though I know Gustafson's the better goalie. Um, but yeah, like I said, this home ice advantage has been massive. We saw that immediate impact in Game 3 from the Wild when they went home and they just started lighting it up. Um, but going back to Minnesota, they'll force a Game 7 here, and then I'm going to take Vegas at home. Home ice advantage looming large here, maybe larger than many of the other ones. I know we said that Jets home ice is just different, but these two teams play well at home, similar to the LA Kings. Kind of fumbled the other night, but yeah, give me the Vegas Golden Knights here. Too skilled, too many different scoring
In
options.
7.
Yeah, in 7. I got them in Vegas. I'm not going to touch the game tomorrow, so that means I like the Wild.
Heck yeah. Going to be a great series here. Continuing on here, though, the Dallas Stars and the Colorado Avalanche here in Colorado for game 5. The Avs are the favorite, -180 on the money line. Stars +150. What do you guys think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this series so much. I think I'm gonna go Avs in 7. You're gonna go Stars in 7. It can go either way. I think if the Stars are gonna win this series, it's gonna be Otter standing on his head in a game 7.
I could see them beating them in 6. I mean, this team's just too good. The goaltending mismatch is crazy. You know what's crazy is the Avalanche are getting so much credit for adding Blackwood, who played okay, but he's not a top end goaltender. Jake Ottinger, I know he's fumbled in the playoffs before, but that's a top 3 potential goaltender in the NHL. Yeah, he probably sits around 5 or 6 when you start naming names, but at his peak, he's a top 3 potential goaltender in the NHL. Still a really young guy too. What about Wyatt Johnston, the kid, putting in 2 playoff goals last game? Mikko Rantanen finding the net for his team. Maybe they crack Blackwood a little bit, but this team is so deep. And like I said before, you're playing without Heiskanen and Robertson, your best player, your offense and your defense. The amount of guys that can put pucks in. Their second line with Duchesne on it. Their third line has guys like Jamie Benn on it. Their fourth line, Sam Steele, Colin Blackwell, a guy that I think you wish you had back in New York because that's a glue guy for that bottom 6 that really holds them together. He's throwing the body with those big hits. He's putting pucks in the net too. I just think it's too much for the Avalanche to handle. They have that top end skill. Yeah, they put big points up, but I don't know. This Dallas team is just built different. I think it's the most complete team in the NHL.
Yeah, I think Avalanche are the better team. I think that it just comes down to Otter and that I think, they've outplayed them in almost every single game. It's just been,
They got ran
um
last game though.
what, did you see the shots?
I watched the whole game though. They were running them. At the end, the Avs started getting some looks, but they went up like 3-0 right away. Then it was 5-2. They were handling them, and the Avs stayed in the box all night long.
Yeah. Well, 4 out of 5 so far. I think, Avs have pretty much controlled, they're just not getting the bounces, and they have the worst goalie, so, um, Avs should win game 6 at home, I think, in dominant fashion
Do
in
you
that.
like that Avalanche depth? That's why I think that the Stars heavily outmatch them.
I mean, I think the star power up front just I mean, they outshot them in
The
game 3,
Stars got that
48 to
star parent
25.
too.
It's just when everything's going for them, they're
The Stars got that star power too, though. I mean, Johnston, Hintz, Rantanen, like they Duchesne, Sagan, like they have big names up front that can put pucks in. And they're not like I said though, without Robertson and Heiskanen too. Imagine they can get out of this round and you get those guys back, how much of a boost is to your lineup. They're coming in at like plus 170 on the money line tomorrow. I like that play a lot. I think there's some great value in that. I think they're the better team. Even the games that they've lost, they've been right in there besides one, I believe. Um, so yeah, best series though in the West for sure. Definitely some must-watch hockey because there's some really skilled goals in this one. But I think Otter, yeah, like you said, Otter over Blackwood any day of the week. So I think there's good value in them to run it.
Alrighty. Keeping it going here in the NHL. We got one more series here. Kings and Oilers heading into game 5 here in Edmonton. The Oilers are the favorite here, minus 160. Kings coming in at plus 135. What are our thoughts on this series here?
Yeah, you alluded to this one, Mac. If you want to get started on it,
yeah, Oilers in 6. I think it's cooked. I think Kings probably should have won the series in 4. They had a two-goal
two
lead,
goal
I wanna
leads,
say, in game
two
3,
third
and then it
period goal, 2 goal leads that they
yeah,
blew.
it's just brutal to blow both of those games, and, all momentum's gone to Edmonton, and then Kings lose a game 5 at home where they've been stellar the entire season, so now you gotta go back to Edmonton down 3-2. It's over in 6.
What is it? Darnell Nurse, Leon Draisaitl, and Connor McDavid have like 120
I think
combined
it was
points in the last
Bouchard.
3 years. Oh yeah, Bouchard. Um, Yeah, Connor McDavid, Evan Bouchard, Leon Draisaitl, 120 points.
122 in what was it,
3
22
years?
it was like 26 games or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're just taking over. Bouchard, the 2 big goals to send it to overtime to spark that series comeback. I took the Oilers money line. I'm telling you, in game 3, I don't know why, but going to the third period, I was like, you know what? They're at home
I saw them at, like, plus 365, and they
by a
were down
goal
3-2, I think, because they won that game,
with like 10 minutes left.
7-3, I think they won the game. They were down, like, 3-2 with, like, 11 minutes left. They were, like, plus 400, and I was like, "No, I'm
That's
gonna
game
s"
4 you're talking about though, right?
when they won 7-3.
Yeah, that's game 4. I'm talking about the one game 3 where they forced overtime with like a minute left
Oh,
and then
yeah,
they won it in
25
OT.
seconds, yeah.
That was nuts. I took them in the money line when they were down 2 or 3 goals in the end of the second, rode it all the way, but
Yeah, I
that
saw it at, like, plus 400, 10 minutes left, and I was like, "Nah, I'll leave it." I go back to check, like, 5 minutes later, it's, like, 6-3. I'm like, "What the fuck happened?"
yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have they're the defending Western Conference champions. Let's not forget about that. Um And we know this Kings team just gets big brothered by them left and right. They love to choke it away. They thought they finally had the team. They were playing great hockey. We were all on them. We are like, they're going to get out of the first round. Mackey's got them going to the Western Conference Finals. And then they fall flat on their face. And then when all the momentum's
They
gone, they
look
go
so
home.
good.
They go home where they're so great all season long, and they get beat there. Now they have to travel back to Edmonton where they're 0-2 in the series. I don't think they get out of game 6.
Yeah, I agree.
They're dead in the water.
All righty. Lots of good stuff there out of the NHL. That's all we got for that this week. But let's jump over this some of this stuff in the NBA, starting out with our power rankings here.
Can Twins score? It's like 0-0 this
Oh, I'm watching that
sixth
game
inning.
too. My boy Pablo's dealing, but they can't hit tonight. It's Luis Ortiz too. Crazy. I don't even think he's that good.
Heck yeah. All right, here, power rankings here for the NBA. Coming in at number 5, the Golden State Warriors. Number 4, the New York Knicks. Number 3, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2, the Boston Celtics. And number 1, the Oklahoma City Thunder. What are our thoughts on our power rankings here for this week as we continue through the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the NHL here. We're in the same spot where a lot of teams could go up and down based on where we rank
Except
them
for
a couple
1, 2,
days
and
ago.
3. 1, 2,
Yeah.
and 3 are stuck.
Yeah, they're going to be there no matter what, and they're getting out of the first round easily. They all handled their business so well, and the way they closed out too in dominant fashion was an exclamation point on the series. Your team's going to fall out of there. They might have had the toughest matchup of these top end teams in the first round in the East for sure.
They're not going to fall out.
Oh, the power rankings?
Why are they going to fall out? They went in 6.
Yeah, I mean, you could put the Pacers in there. They handle business. Huff wants to.
Yeah, I think that'd be crazy. But
You want to know a team you got to start respecting too? Those Denver Nuggets, especially if they win your
series is not even close to over. Don't even.
But how good are the
start.
Denver Nuggets, though?
They're not that good. Jamal Murray had a fluke 40-point game. What are you gonna do?
It's not a fluke. He's
Yes,
won
it
the
is.
championship
Yes,
before.
it is. It's a fluke.
This team is not as bad as they played during the regular season. That's the thing. And
They don't. I mean, Jokic is the coach right now.
yeah, and is that a bad thing?
I don't know. No, not necessarily. Listen,
He's a
I'm
better
not
coach than
sleeping on
JJ
them.
Redick, I'll tell you that.
I think we knew this was going to be the best series, but whoa, don't be hating on JJ Redick. He's a pretty good
Oh, you know
coach.
who else is a great team in that rankings, though? How about those Golden State Warriors? You and I, big bandwagon fans.
Close out tonight. They're gonna
Yeah,
close it out
I think
tonight.
so too. I like them on the money line tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, 4 through 7, I think you could put a
Anybody
lot
that's
of
getting out of the
teams,
first
yeah.
round.
Yeah.
What about the Wolves? If they handle the Lakers in 5, could they be a shady top 5 team?
Yeah, for sure. But then
Didn't
they're
they
gonna
just
run
go to the Western Conference Finals last year too?
No, they lost. Yeah, they lost to the Nugget or they
Yeah. So why are they
Mavericks.
so underrated? I think it's just
Because
I even took-
it's a different team this year
no,
too.
it's the storybook, the terrible Lakers roster, but they have Luka and LeBron, so everybody overrates them. But maybe we'll see. Can LeBron come back from 3-1?
I think he could. I don't think he will, but I think he could.
That team around him is horrendous, but you can't count them out. But yeah, let's get into some of these series because there's a couple of those top 3 teams that handle business, but there's some interesting ones beyond that.
Heck yeah, let's jump into this first series here. Warriors and Rockets here starting any minute now. The Rockets are the favorite here at home, -190. Warriors +154. On top of that, what does a potential Warriors championship do for Curry's legacy here as the Warriors are up 3-1 on the Rockets here in the first round? What do you guys think?
I think it just keeps him as the best 3-point shooter of all time.
Come on, there's no way. So where do you have him at right now all time?
He's probably. I mean, I bet you all the old heads would hate on us, but he's easily in my top 5.
All right, well that's wild. I'd have him right around
What, 10?
8 right now.
Yeah,
Probably
but
8.
I don't know. He changed the game in a different way.
Top
He's not
5
gonna-
is so hard because you don't have him. Do you have him as the best point guard of all time
no.
over Magic?
That's gonna be recency bias. I guess I will. Yeah, I will. I'm going to. He changed the
Well,
game.
you gotta think LeBron, MJ.
Yeah.
Shaq.
LeBron, MJ.
Shaq's probably ahead
I like
of him.
Shaq up there. Put Kobe up there.
No, absolutely not. Kobe's like 12.
No, I know, but Kobe's the boy. I'm gonna put Shaq up there.
I will say if Curry gets another ring, he's definitely top 5 all time.
Yeah, I like him in that spot too. You think he's the best point guard of all time if he wins another one?
I think you can
Especially
make
since
the argument
he's
right now.
finally like carrying one. The whole time before it was like with Klay
2022
Thompson.
he carried too. That
No,
one
I
against the Celtics, that's what kind of
I
solidified him
agree, but
as
he
top.
always had another guy on his team. I know he has Jimmy Butler now, but look at the way that they won last game where he just carried it himself. I'm gonna overrate him just because I've been a big fan, and that's who we've watched throughout when LeBron just really carried the NBA. And literally, like I said, he changed the league. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in my top five.
A fifth
Um,
ring for Curry will make him probably fourth all time.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see. I don't think it's gonna come this year, but I think he gets to another
I
finals. He
don't
could
know,
at
man. I
least
mean, this team is
a good matchup.
name
Can
more
they?
other than the Thunder, there's not even I don't think there's anybody that
The
can
Thunder
even
and the
compete with
Celtics
them.
are the two teams
Okay,
in the
well,
NBA
yeah,
that are
I'm at the
just
West.
yeah.
Getting
No,
out of
I
the West,
know.
I think it's just the Thunder that can even compete with them.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know. I'm so, like especially after the exclamation points they put on this round, the Celtics and the Thunder are just, like, 2 teams that, like, are tough to match up with versus anybody else. Um, but this Warriors team, yeah, I mean, they have the hustle and the grit, and Butler's gonna get healthy too. If they can get out of this in 5, that'd be great. You think that you like them tonight on the money line?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah, me
do.
too. I took that. I don't know. We'll
The
see.
Rockets have some struggles, and they're very inexperienced, and it's pretty
They're just
obvious.
ahead of schedule, I think, right?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. I
Yeah,
think
they're young.
Jalen Green has to mature a lot. I
How
mean,
tough is that matchup too in the first round? It's like, "Oh, we got the 2 seed in the NBA in the West.
well,
That's
it's
awesome. You get Steph Curry and
yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Butler."
I think they'd rather see almost every other team in the West than see
Yeah,
them.
easily.
But
I
yeah,
hope Curry keeps
Warriors.
balling out though, because he looks like the best player in the West right now after maybe Shea. But yeah, I'll go with him. I'll go with the Warriors.
Agreed. Dubs in 5.
Alrighty. Definitely some good predictions here coming out of that series. Let's jump over to our next one here. Timberwolves and Lakers here. The Timberwolves leading the series 3-1 here, heading into game 5. Lakers heavy favorites here in game 5 at home, minus 235 on the money line, minus 5.5 on the spread. Timberwolves plus 190 on the money line. What do you guys think about this series here, heading to game 5 in LA?
I hope I didn't fall in the trap. I mean, this is just
Yeah,
America's
I
team
know.
that is like getting heavily favored, and it really shouldn't be.
I think I mean LeBron and Luca in a elimination game, I think they should
But they've
combine.
looked fucking bad. Like F
Not
bomb
really
aside, like
bad, I would say. I wouldn't say bad.
yeah,
I
I
just think,
think
dude, they
so.
have no roster. Austin Reeves has
Yeah,
not
it's a
has done
terrible team.
Reeves has done nothing to help. I think Jackson Hayes plays 4 minutes a game, so
After the top
they
2
have
guys, the people
LeBron.
are terrible on that
Yeah,
roster. That's a terrible roster. It's
yeah.
comparable to the Bucks roster around Giannis.
They played the same
The
5
whole
people
clo
the
the whole
entire
half.
second half because they have no other option. They don't.
That
You
was
have
their
LeBron
first
playing
time
the
in NBA
5.
history that happened.
You get killed on the offensive boards and the defensive boards regardless. They have a lot of work to do. I think they're gonna have to combine for like 75, 80 points tonight
Which they
to
can do.
yeah.
If anybody can step up, anybody in any way to step up to be a third
And it's
option.
just I mean, dude, like you have like an X factor like Naz Reid who comes in and he's like
Their
15
bench is
points in the
actually
4th
decent.
quarter.
Their
Dante
bench is actually
DiVincenzo off the
decent.
bench. It's like you can't compare with teams like
It's a
this when they
deeper team that was just in the Western Conference Finals going against the most hyped America's team, I guess you could say, in LeBron James and Luka Doncic. But I think that LeBron and Luka are too good to get put out in 5. But we've seen crazier things happen. I'm very scared of this 5.5 that I took tonight. But let's
that's
see.
why I took the money line teased.
Yeah, let's see what you can do, LeBron.
Alrighty, LeBron and the Lakers here against elimination in the first round. But let's jump over this next series here. Mackie, your Knicks and the Pistons. Um, the Pistons are the favorite here coming into this matchup. 2.5 points for them, minus 135 on the money line. Knicks at plus 110. What are we thinking about this series?
Yeah, this is reminding me a lot of the Sixers series last year. We had a chance to close out in 5 at home. Blew a late lead. I think the Knicks definitely should have won that game. There was a lot of things that happened in the final 5 minutes of that game. They couldn't get Brunson and Hart back in the game for like 2.5 minutes of the last 3 minutes. And Cade just kind of did his thing, but I think the Knicks will take it in 6. I don't know about you, Ace.
Oh, I don't like that. I like the Pistons to come back in the series and make some noise. I had them on the money line last night. I texted in the chat, "How about that Pistons game?" Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, Mackie. You're not worried at all?
No, not at all.
Wow,
I mean,
that's
did you watch that game?
yeah.
Well, Brunson and Hart couldn't get back in the game for the last 2.5 minutes. Brunson probably had his worst game of the series so far. Actually, definitely had his worst game of the series. Can't expect that to happen again. Um, they just outmatched the Pistons in every way. I think that they had a rough start to the series at home in games 1 and 2, ended up 1-1. Then they did their thing down in Detroit, and they should have closed that out in 5, but this should be over in 6. If not, there's no way they're losing a game 7 at the Garden.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the Pistons here to get this one done and force a game 7 at the Garden. We saw last year the banged up Knicks couldn't get the job done when they were at the Garden. I don't know, Mackie. I'd be worried. Cade Cunningham is a force to be reckoned with. One of the best point guards in the NBA, in my opinion. Let's see what he
Ovi
can do.
goal.
Ovi already scored.
Ovi goal.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, keep hating on the Knicks. You can hate on them next series when the Celtics probably beat them in 5, but not just yet.
I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be good to follow this series. I hope it goes 7. And then maybe if not, Mackie, if you guys can figure it out, you get to come see the Boston Celtics who are getting healthy and waiting for you.
Yeah,
So I don't know if
that's
that's a death
when
sentence, but
you could start chirping. But
yeah.
Knicks have nothing to lose in that series, so you better be
Except 4
careful there.
games in a row. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, let's get on to the next one. I think we're gonna get to talk about this Pistons series a little bit more.
Heck yeah, we got someone in the chat saying go Detroit Pistons. So lots of
What
good
a
stuff there.
what a
Nuggets and
clam!
Clippers is our next one here. Clippers, the favorite at home, 6.5 points, minus 295. Heavy money line favorite. Nuggets plus 230. What do we think happens going to this game, going into game 6?
That's a nice looking money line there for the Nuggets,
Oh
Mackie.
yeah, is it? Yeah, maybe you should take it.
I probably should. I mean, plus 230 for a team that's almost in every game, even when the Clippers win
They lost
games.
by 35 game 3.
Yeah, but that's all right. We're gonna forget about that one. But let's talk about this upcoming one. Remember that time you were gassing up Kawhi Leonard and how great of a game he had, his
Oh,
best
he's so
game ever,
good, dude.
and it was
He's
still a
so
close
good.
game. I like the Nuggets here. Let's see them take home a win plus 230 on the money line. It's crazy. We talked
No
about a little bit
chance.
before. This team has won it all. They got Jokic coaching them. They have the skill that didn't play up to par in the regular season, but let's go.
Clippers in 7. They're gonna win this game by 15 probably, just like Denver won Game 5 by 15. Jamal Murray, fluke 40-point game. I don't want to hear it. Give me the Clippers in Game 6 to win 15, 20 points, and then a good Game 7 where Kawhi Leonard just does his thing.
Yeah, you better hope. You got 3-U on that series there. You're hoping they can get out of it alive.
Starting to sweat it a little more than I was before.
We talk about Steph Curry and the lore that he has, but what about Nikola Jokic? I mean, his legacy is already pretty big, and you could never go against him, in my opinion. Talk about a team that has good pieces around them. They actually do, in my opinion. I like the pieces that the Nuggets have around Jokic. They didn't have their best regular season, but they have a lot of names. Rookie Christian Braun jumps onto the scene too. I kind of like him. Jamal
He's not a
Murray,
rookie.
Christian Braun.
No,
Yeah,
he's his second year. He won that national championship with Kansas in 2022.
I thought this was his rookie year. Did he not play much last year?
He might not have played much last year, but he was definitely playing last year.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I got him in my dynasty league once.
I don't love Christian Braun. I think like guys like Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. Those are the key pieces. Christian Braun is just a great piece to have as like a fifth option.
Oh yeah.
Russ had 19 points in
How big
in
of a
game.
piece would he be on the Lakers though?
Who? Christian Braun?
Yeah.
Be a six man.
Yeah, I know. Like that's why they need the amount of options that they have.
He'd be a great option for them.
Yeah, but
But,
even Jamal Murray starting to step up is a big thing to see. But those Clippers, yeah, I wouldn't count them out either. You can't count out the claw. This is going to be a fun one to watch too. I do think we get 7 out of it. So I don't know if I'm going to take that plus 230. I just think it's pretty juicy for a team that's pretty good.
Right.
Alrighty, boys. That is all we got out of the NBA. Let's jump over to some of these MLB games and things happening here tonight. With the MLB, we got our power rankings here to start us off, starting with number 5, the Detroit Lions, number 4,
Detroit
Yankees.
Lions.
Sorry, did I just say the Lions? Holy shit.
Detroit
Matthew Stafford's
Lions.
playing?
Matthew Stafford is getting up to the bit.
Pitching
up
no
the bat.
hitters.
Matthew Stafford hasn't played for the Lions in years. That's the last. He hasn't played for them since they played baseball, right?
Basically, number 5 here, the Detroit Tigers. I'll get that one right one of these days. Number 4, the New York Yankees. Number 3, the San Francisco Giants. Number 2, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and number 1, your New York Mets,
Number
Mackie.
1,
What are your
21 and
thoughts here with your Mets
9.
at the top?
Mackie, print that and put it on your fridge because it's not going to matter in 3 months.
Why? They're still playing great. They put up 22 runs in the last 2 games. Offense is getting going. Lindor batting over 300. Once Soto gets going, lights out. And the pitching, everyone's hating on the pitching, and it's been lights out as well. Not much to say. Not many bad things to say about this Mets team right now. 21 and 9. I don't know. I mean, I know you're a Dodgers fiend. I know that Dodgers are right there as well. I mean, not really talking down on them, but
They're all hurt right now
the
anyway,
Mets,
so you can take the first one. You
yeah,
deserve it.
Mets deserve that one spot. They do.
Yeah, they do. When does the hat come in? The April championship hat. You got to be wearing that one for next
Oh,
week.
it's actually in the mail right now.
Yeah,
It's
that's
on
what I
its way.
thought.
Yeah,
The April
it's on its way,
championship,
yeah.
Mets winning that one, grabbing the
Mhm.
one spot in our rankings.
Does that hat say over 500 in the month of April?
I mean, it doesn't
It
matter.
should. Yeah,
Yeah.
that should be
Yeah, but
that
here we
should-
go.
That should be a
I mean,
milestone for those Red Sox.
if the playoffs started today, we'd be in the playoffs. So
Yeah,
I don't
getting
know.
shit pumped.
I'm not worried about it. You know who's coming back in? Brian Bale just came off injury list. Cutter Crawford's coming back. Giolito's making his debut tonight. What about Yoshida? Oh, and then let's not forget about the prospect watch. 2 of the top 5 prospects in the MLB completely mashing in AAA. Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony. By the time they come up, your team's going to be down outside the power
Oh
rankings,
my
Mackie.
God.
So I wouldn't
Are you
even
worried
talk
about our
this-
bet though? You got to be a little worried about going up
It's
against
yeah,
them.
whoever goes further this year. I don't
No,
know.
it was a regular season record.
Oh, well, that's lame. I think it should be whoever
now
goes
you're
fir-
now you're in trouble.
I'm
We
always
could-
I'm always on whoever goes further. I thought
we
that's
could
how
double
it
it.
goes.
We could double it down.
Yeah, I don't even know what the bet is. Do we have it written down? Was it to most wins?
Yeah, it was the regular season record.
All right. I thought
We
it was
could double it down to whoever goes further.
Yeah, we might as well just tack on another $5, change it to whoever finishes further at the end of the year. But that's gonna be a good one. You're looking in. That was a free bet for me too. Thanks for ruining it. I was going up against the Steelers or the Pirates the year before, so now I got to go up against a
Yeah,
valid team.
you got Huff with a little too much confidence last year.
Yeah, I got free money, and now I gotta worry about these New York Mets. But I think the rest of the division is starting to heat up a little bit. Spencer Strider, Ronald Acuna, hopefully they come back. Look at Verdugo tearing it up with the Braves too. But yeah, shout out to those Mets getting there. Shout out to the Tigers getting there too. Got to give them some love. That pitching rotation. I mean, Jackson Jobe didn't look too great today. They pulled him early on. I mean, he didn't have to do much in a nice little blowout win, but the rest of that staff, their whole staff's under a 3 ERA, and they're all really young. Screwball, Flaherty, Olson, Mize, and Job. So, and their bats come to life. Spencer Torkelson, once the number 1 prospect in the MLB, is now sitting at the 3 spot in their order. He's hitting well. McKinstry, a lot of different guys on that team. So you like to see that. Yankees, that's a weird team though, because Jazz is getting hurt now. Their pitching staff still kind of scares me. No, he's a good player. I like.
I
Jazz.
hate Jazz, dude.
I like them as a Marlin a lot more, but they have a lot of pop in their bats. Maybe it's because they're using extra bouncy balls and they're using the torpedo bats. But Judge hit another home run his first at bat today. That guy's great, having another career year. And Ben Rice stepping up too. So you always got to watch out for them. But that NL West, we know how good it is. I think we beat on that every week. The Padres home. The amount of times, Mackie, I've hit on the Padres this year. Maybe you're a statistician. Go check that out for me. Especially -1.5. It's got to be pretty lucrative because every time I throw in these Padres, I feel like they win.
Yeah, I could pull that for you.
D-backs too. My boy Corbin Carroll. I think he's going to grab that.
Bet on
MVP.
them. Why'd you bet on them yesterday or tonight?
Oh,
Because they're
Yeah.
playing the best team in baseball. That's why you didn't do it.
also, I'm not sold on Corbin Burns. That's the other thing. Huff took
Yeah,
that
Huff
nerfy.
loves him. I mean, it hit. I don't know. Mets had bases loaded with 1 out, and he got out of it.
Yeah,
but
no, he's a good pitcher. It's just when are you going to figure it out? Because ever since he went to the Diamondbacks, he's been invisible.
yeah.
Corbin Carroll MVP. Book it now. Book it now. James Wood. He's pretty good too.
Alrighty, let's keep it moving here. Let's talk about some of these games here. We have 2 that have already started here. Red Sox and Blue Jays. Red Sox up 2-0 here in the second inning.
Yep.
Diamondbacks and Mets also in the second inning here, tied 0-0. So make sure to stay tuned to our Instagram for any picks that we've had on those games and any games for the next few coming days.
Imagine
But
Lucas Giolito can be anything though, Mackie. Sorry to cut you off there, Jesse, but the Red Sox game up 2-0 right now. If he could be any good, that's not a bad sixth arm to add while we await Carter to get back in the mix. Rafael Devers, he's been up and down this year. Remember, he started really slow, then he got really hot, then he got cold again, now he's hot again. So we'll go, gee, I wonder where my Yankees sitting in the division even without Garrett Cole. Yeah, I mean, they'll be there for a bit. They'll probably be there all year, but do we have any faith in them to go far? Even if they had Cole, do
For
we?
the
Not
Yanks,
really. Yeah. They
I
always
think
fizzle
it's
out when it
a
matters.
it's a very weak AL again, so I think that they could
The
definitely make a
AL as a
run.
whole is brutal this year.
Exactly, and I mean, look at it last year. I mean, it was a minor league last year.
And look at who just completely faded away, the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, that team
Brutal. Oh my
went from
god.
the top of the food chain, looking like the next dynasty with all those top end picks we had, to getting all the way down to the bottom of the power rankings of the AL. Potentially one of the worst teams in the league if the Rockies weren't playing in the MLB still. But that pitching staff, you let go of Corbin Burns. You have Zach Eflin and G-Rod. They get hurt. And then you're relying on the 42-year-old Charlie Morton, who's terrible and been relegated to the bullpen. Kate Povich isn't turning into a star who's going tonight against the Yankees. And now they tried Kyle Gibson, who just gave up back to back to back to start the game. That Yankees lineup on fire. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to me. Jackson Holiday, they rushed him through the system because of his name. And now that Orioles team is just not the same. Adley dealing with injuries. So it's just crazy to see that fall apart. And now we got the Red Sox and Yankees competing for the division. So that's gonna be a fun one. Red Sox going for I think the fourth World Series since 2000. Yankees still chasing their second. So maybe at one point the chat can get happy. Mac, we got some Yankees fans in the chat here. This came tumbling on, and someone hit them with a torpedo bat. They ended up in our stream. Um, but they're gonna try and get here today. Uh, the Yankees team, I like betting on though. I will tell you that I like betting on this year as long as they're not playing my team. I like betting on that over. I got the over 9.5 tonight, and I got Judge and a hit parlay as well. So good team. Playoffs come, different team. But for now, we'll let them be in our power rankings.
They just made the World Series.
Yeah, and then they lost the Heartbreak Kings. What do they have? One World Series since 2000.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Yeah. Shout out
I'm
to you,
not
Sean.
gonna.
Thanks for tuning in, though. We love to get some Yankees banter in the chat. I mean, 2004 probably still rings a bell in your head if you were alive then. I don't know. We're on TikTok, though, so maybe not. But yeah, let's get into some more. That's nice power rankings there, I think, though. Both New York teams in the mix, LA and San Diego team, and then those Tigers.
Yanks did win it in 2000, so they do have two since 2000.
That doesn't count.
And if you go back to 1998, they have the same amount as you.
I'm not going back to that. I don't need my birth here getting leaked on the chat there. But we'll say the Red Sox are the better team over the last decade. For sure. For sure. We got World
Yeah,
Series. They don't.
I mean, they have a
Yeah.
World Series, so
Yeah. It's been 15 years now. Wow. 20 years, Yankees. It's getting up there.
let's jump into some of these games here happening tomorrow. Diamondbacks and Mets. Tomorrow, I believe it's at 110 or something like that here. Home for the Mets. The Mets are the favorite, -150. Diamondbacks +125. Total at 7.5 here. What are you guys thinking about this matchup?
yeah, I like this one. It's Zach Gallen versus Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga is the sixth option according to Ace, but he's got a 1.26
No, I mean,
ERA.
I like
so
Cody saying I got him in fantasy. It's just
He's-
he was listed as your fifth starter.
no, he's our number one. That's what he is.
Oh God, no!
Um,
Give me Tyler Megill.
Yeah, he's pitching great as well. Everybody on the Mets rotation is pitching great
Peterson?
right now, but
Canning. That's crazy.
yeah, Griffin King pitching great. But yeah, I like this pitching matchup tomorrow. Zach Gallen hasn't been who he's been the last few years this year, but
He's
should be
still a
good
stud,
game.
though. He's still a
Yeah,
stud.
yeah. You always got to watch out for him.
And the fact that you have Juan Soto and Corbin Carroll going head to head in the game makes it pretty much must watch TV. Pete Alonso too, and Lindor is starting to heat up a little bit. I'm not sold on Luis Angel Acuna. I think he's a little overrated, but not a
Batting
bad.
296.
Yeah, and
he's
he's
in the
hitting
lineup
the
every single day.
nine hole, and he's playing second base for you. Nice little second base, speedy guy too. But that's gonna be a good matchup. I don't think I'm gonna touch it. It could go either way. Were you scared a little bit? Did you watch that Mets game? I was watching it when Soto looked like he got hurt on that sliding catch that he missed. But
When yesterday?
yeah,
No, I wasn't able to watch last night, but I
Yeah,
didn't
if
even know he almost got hurt.
yeah, you just gotta keep him healthy. I think it might have just been because he slid for a ball and didn't come up with a catch, so he was like pretending he was hurt
Got a little embarrassed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Injury, embarrassment. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be a great game. I like watching the Mets. I like watching the Diamondbacks. I think that's the most exciting team in the league. Maybe it's just because of Corbin Carroll and the way he flies around the bases and hits the ball. That's my MVP pick too. So that's going to be a good one for sure.
Heck yeah. Moving on here. Another game tomorrow. Kansas City Royals and the Tampa Bay Rays here. The Rays are the favorite here, minus 150. Royals are plus 125. Total at an even 8. What do we think about this one? Most of the money on the Rays for this matchup.
Yeah, we got Lugo versus Baz, so I like this pitching
Good
matchup.
pitching matchup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of why I started. But good value in the Royals here. I think the Royals are the better team all
The
around,
Royals
especially with
are a
Bobby
good
Witt
team.
going.
They've started slow. You and I were talking about this a little bit yesterday, and that's why they're underdogs in the series. But they have the better lineup by far. You got India that you brought in. You got the MVP in Bobby Witt that I think he's going to get this year. If not this year, then the next
No
couple.
way. You can't think he's gonna get MVP with Judge playing this year.
Yeah, but he's going to get one at some point. Is my better
Yeah,
set. I
he
mean,
deserves an MVP, but
yeah, so
you
I'm
just
still gonna
gotta play
call
the
him an
same week
MVP,
as
even though he
Judge.
doesn't have the accolade. But maybe when he gets Jack Caglione to come up and bat behind him in the order, he'll get some lineup protection for the big power hitting lefty first round pick who's tearing up in Double A in his first year of pro ball. But until then, Vinny Pasquantino can't live up to the par. Michael Garcia is pretty decent. Sal Perez is on his way out. But I still like this Royals team to make a little bit of noise and stick around in the playoff race. So yeah, give me a win here. Seth Lugo, great year last year, great year this year. Shane Bosdo, stud. Once he gets out of Tampa Bay, he's going to be lights out.
Alrighty, boys. Lots of good stuff there. As we keep going here into our final point for this episode, we jump into the NFL and to talk about the draft here. The 2025 NFL draft was completed on Saturday in Green Bay, Wisconsin, after second and third rounds on Friday, where the most surprising storyline was the player who was not drafted, Shedeur Sanders. Sanders was selected in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns at number 144. The first round kicked off on Thursday night with some immediate fireworks when the Jacksonville Jaguars traded up to number 2 overall to select two-way player Travis Hunter. From there, we have many good and bad picks alike. What do you guys see good and bad from this year's draft? What teams do you think had the best and worst draft? Curious to hear your guys' thoughts.
Thank you, Jesse. That's a lot to unpack there. Very eventful draft. We got some good players coming in. We got Shedeur Sanders slipping, sliding, and taking prank calls. And we got my Patriots getting the best grade in the draft. Mac, you guys had a good one too. So that was nice to see. Huff and Jesse up in the Yinzerville. They got their QB of the bench for the future, I think. I think that's what I think. But they got a guy. They got a guy.
Yeah, a guy.
Yeah,
Good way to
there's a
put it.
guy. But Mackie, what do you think though? Do you see that the Falcons just got fined 350K today for
That's crazy.
that? No, it's worth it though. I mean, Sanders is a
Is it
superstar.
because the kid had access to the number? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah. You got to blame the dad. Like you can't leave that out. But I mean,
Right,
that kid,
right.
what a clown.
Yeah, you see, he had to publicly
Yeah.
apologize as
Oh yeah.
well.
All over Instagram.
Oh my
Shedeur.
god.
Oh, you're gonna have to
Shadir
wait a
actually
little
took
bit
it.
longer.
He took it a lot better than a lot of people would, but
The Shedeur and Shiloh content was great throughout the whole thing. Shiloh didn't even get drafted, fired his dad right after on the pod. I mean,
oh
sides
my
with the Bucks
god.
too. I think that was the league kind of showing, I think, college players that you're not above us. I think that's what they were trying to do.
It's just kind of trying to like humble them a little because they feel like
The
they have.
NIL, the
They
NIL
just
is
feel
giving
like
them the
they
big
have
head.
all the control right now, and they kind of have to get a grip on it because I mean these 17-year-olds come in and they think same thing with Nico I'm Oliva, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
his
that
name
was
is.
terrible.
I think they kind of just like because he was doing the holdout shit and like they were like, listen, you can't bring this to college, not yet at least,
Yeah.
because it's gonna open up a can of worms that they don't want to deal with, and it's just this is the whole NIL world, and don't get me wrong, I agree with NIL to a certain extent. I think these guys, you're making these universities that so much money, you should definitely get compensated for it, but I also think it's gotten way out of hand.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And I think that's what they did. They kind of blackballed him there. I thought for a second he wasn't going to get drafted. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Whoever ends up with him ends up with great value. And it's the worst spot you can land in my opinion. They just picked Dylan Gabriel. They have Deshaun Watson on the big contract and injured. You have Joe Flacco in the mix. I think they signed somebody else, Kenny Pickett as well.
Kenny Pickett, yeah.
I
Kenny
think the
Pickett's
fact
minus 110 to take the first snap for them.
I feel bad for him and Dylan Gabriel because I would like to see both of them play on a better team. I would like them seeing a better scenario. I wish one went to the Seahawks. I wish one went to the Raiders, maybe the Rams. I wish one went anywhere just so I could see the way they actually play in a valid offense. But I don't know. They got Quinjon Junkins too, didn't they? The
Quinyon
Browns?
Junkins Judkins from Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, so they got some other playmakers too. I think they got another young running back. But I would not want to land there. I feel for Shedeur. I mean, dude, if he ended up anywhere else, I think he would have had a big shot. I don't know why a team like the Steelers, a team like the Seahawks, the Rams, the Raiders, the Saints didn't take a shot on him earlier. That's crazy to me.
I think the Steelers were nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. With no quarterback room right now, you have Shedeur in the 5th round, you don't wanna take him.
Yeah. I mean, that's maybe it's just the personality thing. You gotta wonder what happened on those interviews. I know a lot of them are because they don't wanna bring in his father. Then any chance that the guy ahead of him plays bad, if there's any turmoil on the team, should Dion's just gonna be like,
Dion
"Hire
just
me
signed
as
a fat
coach."
deal with Colorado.
Yeah, but he's gonna be all in the media criticizing your every move left
I
and
don't
right.
know. I think, it
Or
could
at
be a
least
lot.
it's in the back of your mind
It could be a situation like LeVar Ball who did all his talking until his
just
guys
to
got
get
to
him
the
there.
league, and
Yeah.
then he went ghost.
Yeah, that's why Shiloh, I think, fired him. But that was an interesting turn of events. And now I just don't even know if we're gonna get to see the true chance for Shedeur Sanders or when it'll be or how it'll be because there's so many people and so many cooks in the kitchen.
Way too many cooks in the kitchen. Truly, I have to say, something. There's got to be more of the story that he just got blown over. Like after getting all the media hype, like the NFL was shitting their pants. Like, why isn't he getting picked?
24 hours before the draft, he was projected 3rd overall, and he ended up
Right?
going 5th round. That's
Yeah.
never even been,
Like,
like, heard of before.
how's this? I get moving maybe down to 21
Around,
first
Yeah,
round,
no,
right?
that
around.
happens. Yeah, you
That happens.
move to the end of the 1st round, maybe early 2nd round, but the
Mhm.
5th
Four and a
round, you're
half rounds.
144th overall.
Yeah,
It's just never
that's
been heard of.
it's a lot.
It was a
So,
they were sending a message.
of course, right? But
Of
clearly
course,
they
the
all
Browns do it.
are on the same
They
page.
answer the Browns answer every message. Oh, Deshaun Watson's coming off of the scandals. We got him. Shedeur Sanders, nobody's picking him. We'll take him too. Yeah, why not?
Lock it in.
We just took Dylan Gabriel too because we can. Oh, Mackie, the Twins just going down here to the guards. You hate to see it.
Are they?
Yep, 1-0 on a thrown away ball by the pitcher.
It's one of those games.
Yep. A lot of game left though. A couple more at bats.
Not a lot of game left.
They got two more. They got two more
6
attempts.
outs. 6 outs.
That might be an unearned run for Lopez due to the error. We'll see.
It
But
says
yeah,
1
I mean,
ER.
yeah, that draft though was a good one for my team. My team hit a home run. We got Will Campbell. We got Travion Henderson. We loaded up the defense and the O line. I mean, we just hit everything right. Great offseason by the Patriots. Now they're a competitive football team because they didn't even have a true roster last year. So it'll be exciting to see. Good things coming out of it. Some other good picks, Mac. You think anybody else make some great ones? I like what the Ravens did with Malachi Starks late in the round. I like that the Chiefs traded down and grabbed some value and got another lineman to protect Patrick Mahomes. What about what's his name? The corner from Michigan dropping super late too.
He didn't drop that heavy, did he?
Yeah, he did. I think he fell outside of the top. Did he fall outside the first round? Was he a late first round or early second round pick? Wasn't he?
Who are we talking about?
Is
The
that
Kenneth
Will?
Grant or
No, is that Howard?
No, it was Johnson, I think.
Will Johnson?
Will
just trying to
Johnson,
think of
yeah.
guys
Yeah,
from
Michigan. I think he slipped out of the first round. That was crazy to see. I thought he was going to be one of the top corners off the board, but McMillan
Warriors are getting shit pumped,
Will
dude.
Johnson slipped out of the first round to be pick number 47 in the second round.
Yeah,
number
that's
15 pick.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I thought he was the number one corner coming out of the draft, but I mean, not number one, but at least the top 3 corner coming out of the draft. And even the Bills went and got one. The Ravens did, and they didn't bring him home. But I like McMillan going to the Panthers too. Bryce Young gets another guy that's going to be the guy. They spend 2 first-round picks in 2 years on it, and they get both of them. They get Leggett and McMillan. Ashton Genty going to the Raiders. He's going to be a workhorse there. He's going to see a ton of carries. Remember what Pete Carroll did with Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson? Now he gets Geno Smith and Ashton Genty. Tom Brady brings him back there. Yeah, so I'm excited. A lot of good stuff coming out of this draft. And also the last pick from the Bryce Young trade with the Bears and Panthers was selected in this draft in the first round as well.
Alrighty, boys. I think that's going to just about do it for us here this week. Lots of good stuff out of the NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB coming at us fast. The NFL draft, a little recap on that. But that's everything I got for us here this week. Make sure you stay tuned for our live streams each and every weekend, whether that's on Saturday or Sunday, covering all the sports happening now. Currently, some, like I said, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB. Lots to look forward to for those, 10 a.m. Eastern. But that's all I got. Anything to add, boys?
No, nothing else to add. Like I said, we're gonna get into some game 7s for the next week that we'll get to unpack with you. So make sure you tune in there. And then we'll get some second round action to you, and the MLB still rolling. Maybe we'll start getting some NFL preseason lore going too. We got to see how it looks. Mackie, anything for these good people? Tailor our plays, whatnot.
No, just yeah, keep those playoff plays on the back of your mind. So we've been hitting it in the NHL. NBA hasn't been as good, but and MLB is definitely starting to heat up as well. So turn on those post notifications.
Heck yeah, boys. Lots of good stuff. See you next week.
Warriors are getting pumped.